to the cloud. And can anyone?
I got admitted on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today on this Sunday, September the 4th, 2022. My name is Carol Ray. I'm in Central Texas, and this is the Global Healing Call for Ancient Secrets, the community of Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer that was founded by Dr. Clint G. Rogers. And we are anticipating his return from a month of silence, solitude, and stillness this coming week, and we're all going to be excited to see what great things are coming back with him as he comes back into being active with us on a practically a daily basis. So welcome, and if you're here for the first time, we are so happy to have you. This is a global call that we have people that join us from all over the world, and my co-host for today, speaking of world travelers, is Ms. Cornelia Merck. Hello, Cornelia.
Hello. Yes, I'm back from all my travels to Europe, and I'm glad to be back.
And where all did you see?
Where did I go? I was in Germany, I was in Italy, and I was in Switzerland and Holland. And in Switzerland, Italy, and Holland, I was actually attending some of the clinics that Dr. Giovanni and Dr. Clint did there. And then I was also kind of traveling privately, seeing my family in Germany. And I was in Ireland, England, and Luxembourg. So
Wow.
I got around.
And now you're home in paradise.
And now I'm home in paradise, exactly.
I'm so glad to have you back. We've missed you so very much, but so glad to see that you were able to go to be with your children and your grandchildren and your friends, and to have such a great experience. So yay, Cornelia, that's exciting stuff there. So today we have a packed agenda. We have so many things coming up, so much to talk about. And we have a core theme for today. And Cornelia, would you like to invite people to answer our question, our thought-provoking question of the day?
Yes, the question today is, what does it mean to you to live fully? When you think about when do you feel really alive? What does it mean to you to live fully? If you could put your answer into the chat, and then we would like to kind of read out a few once you start submitting them here.
And Cornelia, from your experiences just recently, what was it like being back with family after several years of being in isolation due to the situation in the world? Did that change your view of what feeling fully alive might be?
Absolutely, yes. Being really around people, and maybe the thing that I missed the most and was the hugging the people. And that, of course, started in the clinics, that we actually had the opportunity to meet, like, not just fellow students and doctors, but also the patients and the people that came to see the doctors. And really, like, everyone was so open and really having these one-to-one conversations. And I realized how much I had missed that in the years, and how much that should be part of really, at least for me, how much it was to be alive is actually to have these kind of one-to-one conversations face to face and not just via Zoom, that I got so used to, but it's just the way it was. And so I will go out much more. And also what came to me as well, fully alive means, dancing as well again. So that playing the music, dancing again, that was a big part for me to be alive.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Andrea, you want to my chat monitor and guest welcomer, Miss Andrea, do you want to share with us some of the things in the chat?
Yes. Hi, namaskar, everyone. I'm sorry, Carol. What would you like me to share in the chat?
Yeah, just the things that people are saying that what makes people feel fully alive, just to share what some of those responses were for us.
Perfect. Gotcha. So I have here, Jimbo says, fully feeling my feelings. And Anne says, the tiniest things make me smile and giggle. Hi, Anne. Susie says, being of service for all in loving kindness, compassion, and understanding. Hello, Susie. Linda is saying, I feel really alive when I'm connected and aligned with God. I feel the same way, Linda. Thank you for sharing that. Rochelle says, emotional freedom and inner happiness. I'm enjoying reading these. And Helene, who will be speaking later, says, being full of gratitude. Welcome again. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's such a great community we have, and hopefully if this is new for you, you kind of get a sense of the thread that this is a group of people, a community, a family, a tribe, if you will, where people share love and concern for one another. And in that vein, see if I can spotlight myself here. In that vein, if we can take a moment to send some positive light, energy, healing to those who are not here, to people who are in pain today, to people who are in the hospital and can't join us, as we know that we have some of our family members and friends that are going through some rough times. And we have some people who've been in accidents recently, and some people who are facing surgery and they're nervous about it. So let's just take all of that up a level and know that we have there's a divine purpose at work here, and let's put our hands together and rub them and send light and love, and most of all understanding, to all of those who need a little burst of extra energy today. So if you'll join me with sending that. What a powerful group. Wow. That's so awesome. Just a couple of announcements. There is, for those of you who are enrolled in the year-long immersion course, that's coming up next Saturday. And the primary topic is on men's health. There's some other things on fear and anxiety, I believe, is the subtopic, but it's a session where we're really going to go deep into men's health issues. We've done that with women's health on several occasions, but this will be one that's focused on men's health, and it'll be led by Dr. Giovanni from Italy, and our beloved Vinay Soni as well. So for those of you immersion, that's coming up next Saturday. We also have an ongoing mission 1008, and Savan is the contact person for that, and we can put his information in the chat. And it's about giving away 5 books and taking pictures, sending that in, and then you're eligible for some benefits. Does anybody Jerem, can you speak to the 1008 mission?
I am not too keyed
No?
in and involved in that particular one. Otherwise, I would be happy to.
Andrea, do you know that one? Anybody?
Unfortunately, I'm not involved in it either. I've just given away books and taken pictures.
Hey, that's a participant, sounds like to me. So so if you want information about that, we'll have the link for you, and you can get that from Savan. And let's see if there's anything else. A lot of people are just coming off of a 28-day detox. We also did a 7-day detox last month. And so that's exciting that people had that focus of not only what they ate, but thinking and being and immersing themselves in the ancient secrets to be happier and healthier and more alive. So I wanted to share just one of my favorite quotes in the book. And then after that, we're going to ask Jerem to make an introduction. But the quote is on page 30 in this book. Mine is lots of marks on it. Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer by Dr. Clint G. Rogers. And it's on page 30, and it says, God is within each of us, and we all have a purpose to discover. And that's being provided by Baba Ramdas, who was Dr. Pankaj Naram's master. And that, to me, is just such a powerful thing, because it means God is within me, God is within you. The light in me sees the light in you and loves the light in you. So to me, it's a way to love myself and to love my neighbor. So And with that, I'm going to ask Jerem to introduce our next guest.
Thank you, Carol. So it's my pleasure to introduce a man who I see as embodying that quest for inhabiting his divine self in every moment, not only through his music, but through his presence and his dedication. Please welcome Gary Malkin.
Oh, Jerem, thank you, my friend. What a beautiful thing to say. Hi, everybody. For those of you who are on the 28th day detox, I had started with great anticipation, with complete naivete as to the commitment it would require. And I was about to dive into preparing for a very big event to promote, to get my musical that I've been working on that some of you might have heard about. And we had, by the way, a phenomenal experience around the musical, and it's moving forward with the producer that wants to take it to Broadway. And so we're very excited, and it's thrilling. So I love the subject. And in fact, I have a few slides, which is uncharacteristic. Because this subject of living fully, one of the things ever since I started Graceful Passages, for those of you who don't know, you can go to wisdomoftheworld.com and look for it. But ever since I started that work in 1999, but then when we released in 2021, the phrase that came to me was that people aren't as afraid of dying as they are of living fully. And when I know I see Esther shaking her head. Hi, Esther. Good to see you, dear. And it's just wonderful to see all these wonderful people with whom we went through the COVID experience. And there's a unique form of bonding that comes on this Zoom call that I'm just noticing. What a warm feeling I have with all of you. So this idea of fully living is really so interesting to me that it's become the premise of the very first Graceful Passages workshop I have decided to do. And I have information about that I'm going to share with you in a minute. But it's this idea that we take for granted the things that are so omnipresent. The air we breathe, the presence that we bring. It's so easy to let the elements of what is about fully living escape our awareness so that parts of us become fragmented. And that's one of the things that I want to do, is to just talk about how can we feel even more alive? And what are the ways that you in particular, have a way of fragmenting or kind of disintegrating into? It could be, for me, I was often very disembodied. I was a hard up kind of guy, my heart, my voice, my mind, my spirit, really great. But actual embodiment issues has been a real issue for me. So I'm happy to say that thanks for Mung Bean Soup, even though I wasn't on the formal program with the herbs and the support from my Shakti, I am 20 pounds thinner right now. I just had arthroscopic knee surgery. Thank you, Joseph, for your support, who helped me a lot during this process. And I prepared myself better for the surgery, and I'm recovering, if those of you were following the process. But I'm going to talk about fully living and the workshop that I'm about to give, but also just a way for us to drop in at a deeper level. So I'm going to turn on this PowerPoint, which I rarely do, but I'm going to do it here. All right, hold on. Where are we? Here we go. All right. Oops. That's not what I want to do. So I wanted to go, sorry, forgive me. I'm going past this. I don't want to do that. Thought I was all ready for you. There we go. So given the chaos of our lives, how can we feel fully alive? And one of the things that I want to talk about is deep listening. So listening with heart, listening with body, listening with spirit, listening with soul. Listening is an important, underappreciated component for being fully alive. Because something happens, and I think it even happens, especially when we're on Zoom together, is that we get to feel the unified field through our listening and our connection to one another. So I want to make believe we're around this fire together. And just let's take a moment, drop in and let the beauty of nature, even though it's digital and it's, it's imaginal in a way, let's just make believe we're all surrounding this fire. Take some deep breaths. So put in the chat what you notice. What happens to you when you surround the fire next to your brothers and sisters, next to this community, even though it's virtual? How does it make you feel to suddenly be around the fire in nature together? For me, I feel more fully alive. I feel more connected to all of you. There's something about me that leans into this moment, the crackling of the fire, the crickets, sense of purity, right? So forgive me, I'm going to stop this really abruptly because I haven't figured out how to fade out slowly. But, ooh, you hear the loons? You hear that, whoever that animal was calling us? So that's the kind of listening that's capable, that we're capable of at any moment, especially practicing on Zoom. So these 4 elements that I've developed with my friend Hope Fitzgerald, some of you might remember, she and I gave a talk in the beginning of June, at the beginning of the year-long process, I think, around the elements of facing our dying, right? Well, this workshop we're going to be doing called Graceful Passages is about these 4 steps that we call the passageway. Have you ever been in nature? You guys, I'm just going to get off the screen for a minute. Have you ever been in nature and basically you just stop everything and you hear nature, like the way we did around the fire, right? What happens naturally is we start to come back into innate wholeness, right? And this sense of being alive comes back, and our hearts, our souls, our spirits come back automatically. That's what's so miraculous about the healing process, right? I'm looking at Rochelle. Hi, sweetie. And I just, by the way, want to give a shout out, just totally out of the blue, to my friend Annette Reidenauer, who's a new member she's on the call for the first time today. And Annette, welcome. I'm going to ask you in a little bit to speak and may introduce yourself. But she's one of my mentors, one of my allies, and she just read the book and was blown away. So I'm so excited she's here because she's really fully in and looking forward to finding out where a pulse clinic is and all that. But so just back to my talk now. Here we go. So here we are. So one of the things we learned was that becoming fully alive is around learning how to metabolize and be present to loss.
Hey, Gary,
And-
I'm not seeing.
Sorry. Thank you. I always forget this. Thank you. There we go. Thanks. Yeah. So here we go. Yeah. So we talked about that with Hope and I. What happens when we listen deeply is what arises is our emotions that haven't been fully assimilated. So giving yourself a chance in nature or in listening to music that drops you in, it creates a context in which you and the field have an opportunity to coalesce into wholeness, right? And that's what happens when you do the detox. In a way, these are like psycho-spiritual detox tools, right? And we're just going to go quickly because I know there are a lot of other things on this program today. But then the next thing that comes, when you actually metabolize loss, you actually have a catharsis and you have a good cry and you finally feel the loss of whatever it is that's most present that you hadn't fully felt. You know what comes next is this capacity for radical self-love and self-acceptance through radical forgiveness of yourself and others. And I've been working with Gerald and Maya Rose Rogers, the legendary community. I've had my fill of the beautiful Rogers clan. And the Rogers legendary community has enabled me. And I know that and Lori Freilich and others are on this call, many of you know, I've gone through a massive process of coming home to loving myself. So I look in the mirror, and for the first time, you guys, hallelujah, for the first time, I look in the mirror and I go, wow. Aren't you amazing? Aren't you incredible? Oh my God, you've been pushed down so many times. You keep on coming up and you have this smile on your face and you love life and you love people and you love sharing and you love serving. I suddenly have this experience and I never had before. And it really was hard earned, but it was a lot of it through this process I'm sharing with you. And then the next process, making friends with the unknown. There's a million ways to do this. One of them is just asking yourself, what does the unknown mean to you? What is uncertainty? What does the great mystery mean to you? And doing whatever you can to lean into your fear, to press into it, to move towards it, and to see what's on the other side. And these are overviews here, but I just wanted to give you this code that we've developed. And wholehearted gratitude is the result of this 4-step process. And what happens is when you go through these 4 things, you get filled with what Brother David calls great fullness of the appreciation for life itself. And what happens when you're so filled with this great fullness, you overflow, because nothing wants to happen more than you to serve others with your love. Nothing happens more because you have this great fullness, this gratefulness that is filled with joy and appreciation and the awe of the miracle of life. So with that spirit, I just wanted to share with you this. Oh, here's that great phrase. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's what this is about. Giving, listening, presence in body, mind, heart, and soul, a chance for you to look at things differently. So together, we will slow down, listen, and let the magic of music expand our emotional range. So here's the deal. This is the revelation I just gotten recently. To live in the culture that we're living in today, I've got to get out of screen because I got to look at you right here. To live in the culture we are living in today, we're being asked to contract.
Gary,
Oh,
we're just seeing your Wisdom of the World logo, not your face.
thank you. I'm so grateful for you, Carol. I love you so much. Thank you. So to live in this world that we're in, how many of you relate to this? Just to live in the world today, you have to contract. It feels like you have to contract. You have to harden. You have to fragment. You have to be able to kind of, because we're all intuitively wanting to relate to the world. We want to not be so isolated and we want to connect with people. And in order to do that vibrationally, we have to lower our frequency often. How many people can relate to that? Show of hands. Yeah. But we can't have the collateral damage of allowing that to happen unconsciously. So we need extraordinary times require extraordinary measures. And if we want to show up fully, big shout out to the Global Wellness Healing Summit coming up in a week. So excited about that. I'm giving a keynote on on Thursday, I think, or Friday. Rochelle, put in the chat when that's going to be. But I'm going to talk about this more fully. This is the talk. And what I realized was expanding our emotional range, our capacity to feel, is directly related to our humanity. Being connected to our humanity is directly related to detoxing. Detoxing is about coming home and returning to the natural state of peace and forgiveness and gratitude for the preciousness of life. So in the spirit of that, I want us to call all forces present right now. And I have 2 things I'm going to share in this call. Later, I'm going to share a longer piece. But this is this moment that you might have seen these transformances before, but this 2.5 minute moment that is a Zoom fire. Make believe this is the fire. We're all going to circle around and we're going to ask, how can we fully hear, sense, feel, drop into this moment together? How can we feel even more fully alive as we say yes to this moment together? So I'm gonna play one more thing before the end of this module, and then we'll go for it. Go to the next step. Just one reminder. I just got blown away by this, that many of us know about Emoto's the memory of water and the crystalline structures. And I just, when I learned that we had 37.2 trillion cells in our bodies, and out of that, 75% of it is water, and every one of those cells reacts to vibrational frequencies the way that this slide shows. The crystalline structure of our water can either vibrate at a higher frequency of love or not love, or extreme challenge, right? Or even, the contraction we talked about, right? So let's imagine every one of our 37.2 trillion cells are going to experience together a unified Zoom fire of being here and now together. And as we do, we're bringing in all of who we are to experience the gorgeous, beautiful elements of this community together. And by doing that, just one remembrance: when we listen carefully, it's cleansing us. It's cleansing us. When we listen carefully, it's healing us naturally. And when we listen, and listening being a metaphor also of being present, it's holding us. It's bringing us back into wholeness. And when we do all those things, it's unifying each and every one of us around the Zoom fire together. So in that spirit, let's use this video for that purpose. And I'll be done when I play this 2.5-minute track. But let's, even though it is media, even though it is video, even if though it's pre-recorded, let's imagine this is that fire in nature together. And let's listen with all of our hearts and minds as we unify ourselves to this beautiful, connected community that we are so grateful for. Let's take 3 breaths together. Inhale. And inhale again, hold it longer. And this time sigh. NLP talks about it being even more powerful when you sigh at the end. More of you coming online. One last one, holding even more. Deep breath. This is as essential as our humanness is to our breath. Here we go.
As we open this virtual space, let's connect and be present with each other. Let's get to know each other with kindness and gentleness. Let's listen to each other with generosity in our hearts. Let's learn from each other with curiosity and wonder. We are a part of nature. We are a part of Earth. We are a part of life. May we use our time together to add to peace and truth and goodness in the world. May we honor the uniqueness and innate beauty of every member of this community. May we be united with each other. for the sake of ourselves and of all future generations.
Notice the power of the silence that we curated together. Notice that. And just, this is the workshop that's coming up. We'll talk more about it later, but I just wanted you to know, I'll put the link in the chat. But notice how the curated silence together in this space is different. It's different. We're more present. Can you put in the chat, how do you feel different after just 2.5 minutes of a shared multisensory aligning experience? Is it like the fire that we shared together? And I'll pass the baton, and I have one more piece to play later that is a beautiful, more immersive experience, but I just want to say, let me get out of the share now. Here we go. I just want to say, I love you all. I'm with you all. I'm grateful for the opportunity. And I have a dream one day that Wisdom of the World offers a program on that is a conjunctive program, like I mentioned before, to the detox that allows for emotional and spiritual components in the detoxing process that we can offer through the power of music. And someday I hope to co-create that with Ancient Secrets. I love you and I'm with you. Thank you. I haven't taken too much time, Carol. Love you guys.
Not at all. It was so perfect, Gary. I love the visual, all of it. It just fills my heart. I am compelled to say, have you join me, put your arms up and say, I am loved. Up, Gary, all the way up. I am loved.
I am loved.
I am love.
And, you know, perfect segue. Just want to say, Annette, would you please share just a short blurb about what happened when you read the book? Because I love everybody to witness. This is one of my mentors, one of my beloved friends, a business partner in bringing beauty and art to the world on a global scale. She's one of the world's experts on bringing art to hospitals and healthcare institutions around the world. So when you give a book like Ancient Secrets to someone like Annette Reitenauer, you're giving it to literally hundreds of thousands of people who know about Annette's powerful pioneering work on the planet. And Annette, if you're there, please just bring yourself on the screen and just say what the book was for you. Can somebody help her unmute her? Is she there? Is she still here? I hope she is.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Oh, yes. There you are. Hi, sweetie.
Hi. So
really short and sweet.
I'm just so happy to be here with you, and I feel a harmony with everyone and this work. As Gary mentioned, you know, I read the book and then I read the book again, and it just so personally resonated with me. Just briefly, you know, I have spent many years bringing harmony and balance to the physical environment through color and interior design and art and the specialness that it creates in the environment. Also on my personal journey of bringing harmony and balance to my own body and soul. And I feel this work is the next evolution of personalizing who I am and what I can do in the world. So I'm very grateful. Thank you.
And Annette is looking to be hooked up with an Ayashakti consultant because she really wants to get some herbs. So if somebody can help Annette have that and get directly hooked up with them, that's great. Thank you for letting me introduce Annette to the community. Brings my heart such happiness because she's literally one of my favorite people on the planet. So blessings, Annette. I'm so glad you're joining this community.
Thank you, Gary. You were awesome. I'm so grateful for you. That was wonderful. Can we all just give Gary a little blast of Ancient Secrets love, and we love you. We're with you, and we're so grateful to have your kind of talent and love and energy in our tribe, in our community. Thank you, Gary, and thank you, Annette. That was beautiful. So we have Gary has kind of opened the door to talk about detox, and we have some people on the call today who've just come out of the 28-day detox with our Shakti, or I also led a 7-day detox, and we're going to do that again around the solstices coming up. We don't quite have that all together for you today, but it's coming. And then I'd like to ask Jane Hubbard, are you here today?
Hey, I am.
Yes.
I
Hi,
am.
Jane. Would you
Hi.
would you mind sharing with us your experience of the detox and what it meant for you?
Well, I did the 28 day, although I had only planned on 7, but after I talked to Dr. Priyana, she just kind of pushed me into the 28 day, and I go, well, I can do that, sure. Actually, I'm going to go for 2 more months beyond. But what I found, the physical, I lost 10.5 pounds. But I gained a lot of focus. I had COVID in June, and trust me, my brain just melted. I couldn't remember anything, but my focus is back, and it's sharper than it's been in a long time. I started dreaming again after the main detox day, which was 7 for most people. Mine came about 4 days later, but I started remembering my dreams, and I've even had some vivid. One was an auditory vivid dream, and I don't remember dreams. I mean, this has continued throughout the last 3 weeks. And my energy level is just incredible. I get up in the morning, I'm happy. I may not sleep well at night, but I'm getting up in the morning in spite of that, and having a great day. I have a lot of energy. I keep myself focused. And so I know for me, this has really been an extraordinary experience. I know it works, and I can see that I want to keep the clarity that I have right now and continue on this journey. So, and I've been eating mung bean soup for a year now, and I didn't eat it every meal, but I usually ate it once a day. And there are days during the detox when I would have it for 3 meals a day. And I wasn't perfect. I did do a little cheating here and there, and especially if you're out traveling or something. But I kept it. I kept it very minimal, and it was just a great experience for me.
So grateful for that you would share that with us. Thank you, Jane. And I'm going to ask Helena if she's here, if she could also share. I believe she has something to share with us as well. Helena, part of our 3-year path students. Let's see if I can ask her to unmute. Thanks, Jane. Helena. Well, maybe not. Let's see. One of the other things we had on the call today was last week, and Angelica, I believe it is, from Brazil, had a video that she had worked on, and it's something that she's done. And there's Helena. Oh, sorry. Let's go ahead and do that. Thank you. Would you like to share a little bit about your detox story, Helena?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had the thoughts maybe you would ask me about this. Yeah, it was basically how Gary said. For me, I really didn't want to lose any weight, but it was just an emotional, all the emotion coming up, and wrong belief, wrong thought systems. It was really, yeah, like I really saw myself in the 4 steps of Gary. The thing of becoming more alive, like getting the shit out of the system. And it's not nice. I mean, it was not nice. It was really a moment when I was like, oh my God. But it's so worth it. And no one wants to live with those things. It's not worth living with those things. So it's such a gift. And above all, the community make it so beautiful. And it's again how Gary said, it makes us more human. Because when we go through things together, like COVID, like those type of things, well, we learn to love ourselves in all our aspects. So I really recommend that to anyone, everyone, And yeah, it's really, really great. I'm really looking forward also for the Renew and Restore. The two Ayush Shakti has developed to a second and a third month, where we can actually continue and make our body and mind and emotion even stronger. And yeah, that's just fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. And you certainly look alive. Your skin looks so radiant, and your hair looks just, it's luxurious. So well done. And hope you pat your heart 6 times and say well done, because that's quite the accomplishment. And I know for those who've been on this journey, that sometimes it's messy and sometimes it's inconvenient, but the end result is one that can be life-changing and can in fact make us feel more alive. I'm going to ask Cornelia, would this be a okay time, Cornelia, to do some breakout rooms and have people talk in small groups about what does it mean for you to be fully alive? And maybe while you're setting that up, is Dr. Steve still here? Could is he rescuing the world, or is he in fact here? He was here earlier, but I know he's on a emergency call today. Dr. Steve, are you here? Yes, he's here. Dr. Steve, while Cornelia's setting up the breakout rooms, can you talk a little bit about what makes you feel fully alive, and what keeps people that you, your patients or constituents, what do you think keeps people from being fully alive? Dr. Steve, are you there? No, maybe he's off camera.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's off camera at the moment, so he might be busy at the moment. So we might come back to him later.
Yeah, and then when we come back, we're going to have a little segment on Brazil with Angelica and a few more things, but we wanted to take a few minutes to give you a chance to talk about the topic for today, what it means to you, how you can embody this information that you're gathering today to become more fully alive. So Cornelia, you want to?
Yeah. And you already had probably a little bit of experience right now with listening to Gary and his and this piece he was saying, and imagining sitting around the kind of campfire. And really, what does it mean to you? Share with the people in your group, what does it mean to you to be fully alive? So I've set up the breakout rooms, so you are 4 to 5 people in the group. And so I open them up and it will show up on the screen, and you just click on joining, and then we will call you back whenever I close the breakout rooms. And if anyone needs some help to get into the breakout rooms, let me know. Jane, move to 7. There are a few people that are still here and that haven't joined the breakout rooms. Is anyone here who needs some help? You know, or maybe you want to share, even though you're just jumping in on the call right now, Leonor, what does it mean to you to be fully alive? You're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. I wasn't sure you were speaking to me.
No, I wasn't speaking to you, Chairman. I was speaking
Oh.
to Leonore. Sorry.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
I will make
Thank
it
you.
brief.
Yeah.
Hello, I wrote a an email to my son and it had to be finished before I could join this call. What makes me fully alive is, it ties in with this letter to my son, is to be authentically in touch and in contact with as many human beings as I encounter, with everybody I encounter. So it's the dynamics between the people and the impossibilities that we can overcome over and over. That confirmation, it just fuels me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that, Chairman. Now that you thought I had called on you, what is it for you to be fully alive? What does it mean to you?
Thanks, Cordelia. Yeah, we had a nice little discussion with Gary and Kirti. And for me, it's sort of that holding that intention to be present in each moment, sort of like what Leonora was just saying, of no matter what the situation, to have a sense of what the guy at the gas station is dealing with in his life as he's pumping my gas, and being a kind word, and just, sort of being present with finding a compassionate space, no matter what's going on, even though can be painful or difficult. And when I go there, it just brings my heart back open. And what more can you say about that? It's if we can all live with our hearts open, the world changes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I was just covering kind of the time when everyone was coming back from the breakout rooms. So we started and asking Leonore and Sharon. And now I'm handing it back to Carol, and maybe we can hear one or two other people to share what came up in their group, and maybe want to share with us what is it that does it mean to you to be fully alive.
I'd like to ask Susie to share her experience. She's had quite the breakthrough. Miss Susie, would you like to share?
Yes. So I woke up August 15th pain-free, and I have been in pain since 2013. And I've been on this path for 2 years. And I'm very thankful and grateful for everyone that has been part of my healing journey. And I can't even begin to describe how I can finally, because being in pain has kept me from being able to be of service, to being able to live my life fully, to be able to participate in my life. And the thing that was causing me to be in pain was the Epstein-Barr virus, because I was in stage 4. And it's an invisible illness. So there was a lot of judgment of why I wasn't able to participate in my life anymore. And, people would only see me on my good days. And then it would take me days to recover. And the big thing is on August 5th is that I have finally broken free from the frequency of perpetrator, victim, savior, appeaser frequency. That relationship is broken. So people will come and go in my life, but that frequency is done. I'm free.
Woo!
So, exactly. Woohoo is exactly it.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So I find it interesting that happened August 5th, and I've been doing the Ayurveda, the Ayush Shakti, the lifestyle, and within 10 days, I wake up pain-free, and I have ease and grace in my body once again.
Oh, that's
thank
so
you.
fabulous. Thank you, Susie. Yahoo! Jazz
Thank you.
hands.
Woohoo is right.
That's
Hallelujah.
great. Rochelle, you had something you wanted to share?
There we go. Yes, I had the opportunity to share the wisdom in my group with Jane and with Bobby and with Esther, and what a great group it was. Jane had this beautiful expression about her family and love inside of her family, and all of the ways she is able to serve and be served by her family. And it was just exquisite. And Bobby his mission right now is to just listen. And that is so important to us to really hear what's going on in other people's lives, and to receive that information internally, which we don't often do, right? And Esther, oh my gosh, if you know Esther, you know her wisdom is just beyond this world. And she shares in so many beautiful ways everything about being a part of oneness and as an individual in her world of expression. And then I stepped in, and all of their expressions were so true, so on point. And I just added that part of being fully alive is truly being out there sharing your mission. And my mission right now is helping to elevate the frequency of the planet in love. And thanks to this group, we are making that happen. And as a result of my involvement with this group, I was invited to be the co-host, one of the co-hosts, along with Anne Fernandez and Jody Curtis, to co-host the Global Healers Summit this next week. And Gary is our opening keynote speaker, and Dr. Clint is also one of our keynote speakers, and Dr. Smita and Krishna are also part of our keynote speakers. And so I'm inviting you all to join us in this love elevating experience to raise the frequency of the planet, to help create a collective energy that will also impact the Schumann resonance, if you know what that is. I'm looking to elevate the Schumann resonance for this 3-day event and beyond. And it is this community that has ignited this possibility. So I love you, I'm with you, and I'm sharing this as a part of my mission to find a joyful experience in life. So thanks so much, Carol. I'm going to drop into the...
Oh, wait, I just need to say something. I have been a sibling to Rochelle, starting with the legendary work that we started way back in Costa Rica in the beginning of 2021. And I have to tell you, the dedication of Rochelle to bringing her passion and her mission to the world is so inspiring to me. And she has a new book out that is such an achievement. And I'm so proud of you. And it's where we can't see it because of that. It's called
Radiate, Change Your Frequency, Change Your Life.
Make sure you put a link on how we can get it. But
Yes,
I'm just so proud of you, Rochelle. I've been working on trying to get a book out for years, and you're just my hero. And I'm just so grateful for your passionate commitment to being of service to people's healing. You're amazing, and I love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gary. It's such a privilege to be in this group and to be embraced by you and everybody else here. My tears are coming. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Rochelle. Appreciate it very much. Thanks, Gary, for those supporting words. And I just really resonate. I had a conversation with someone who is billed as the health coach. And he said to me, you know what the number one issue in the entire world is with people? It's that they talk too much and they don't listen enough. And it's that high vata energy that, so many of us are guilty of, that, instead of holding our vibration up and supporting that person and what they say and what, we're blasting away with our own noise, in our head. So if we just make it more conscious, to what we're saying, is it relevant? Is it timely? Be brief, be brilliant, and be gone, so that we have more listening to do. And while we're listening, we're uplifting people energetically. So I think that's a really poignant piece there. So thanks so much for bringing that in. Nehemiah, my brother, looks like you've had your hand up there. Would you like to share something?
Yes, Sister Carol. I can quote also the same person because we know the same health coach, and he played part in me coming back to Dr. Naram, because he knows who Smita is and who Dr. Naram, and by now I also know more and more who this group is. And it is mostly Ayurvedic, but is more like everything. And so am I, in a way. Listen, O Israel, the Lord is one. Basically, the main command that was given to the Jewish was listen. And when you fully listen, Israel means the one who struggled with the ego, with a wounded child, whatever, become more alive. A few years ago, when I was 25, I was sitting in front of a fire in London, where it's called city, and I watched the fire, and my life until then was really fiery because my childhood was like, I wouldn't even make it. And I watched the fire and the words came, a fire that looking at the fire is not a fire anymore. It's a fire that can observe the fire. So I want to be able to observe the fire inside me, the fire in everyone. And now I have to observe something amazing happening with my brother. And I'll share it, I'll try to share it, be brief, you see. He knew that he's going to lose his mind, and he's losing his mind, brain cancer. And it's come out of hiding grief, which probably a lot of reason for cancer, according to Louis S. and others. At the same time, his heart opened in a way that it never opened. My brother never expressed grief or any feelings. All of a sudden, you're right, he was a practical man. He was serving everybody, but without being fully aware. Now he's becoming more aware, and then he'll be gone. But he'll be gone even without believing in God, because he was growing up in a society where people don't believe in God. In the kibbutz near the desert, near the border there. He knows he is in God all the time, and I know it. And one of my nephews also knows it. So I'm going to be with him. I'm rushing to Israel, therefore I'm not responding to emails so fast, so well and all this. And I have so much transition. So to be honest, I'm not that much watching the fire. I'm in the fire now with my brother and with everything I have to do. But it's okay because I'm in the fire and I'm still watching the fire. And I finish with what it's meant for me to become alive. I don't see it as fully alive in one moment. I mean, there are moments that I'm fully alive. It's becoming more and more alive. The only people that I met that are fully alive was the enlightened masters that I met, Muktananda and the other successors I met. Everybody else is becoming more and more alive. At least I speak for myself. Because there's so much more, so much more, so much more. Especially when you start to open the third eye and to see the light inside you. When you start to open your heart to express the feelings. And when you realize that you are one, you are not just loving, you are love, you are everything. So it takes work. And this work part of it is the fire of purification. Whether you do fast, which I did now, change your lifestyle, or whether just you take the suffering that God sent you and work with it. Because he sends, to those he loves, he sends more suffering because he knows they can process it. Speaking for myself, it sent me so much suffering. And I think many people here can testify to the same. Thank you. I hope I was brief enough.
So let's put our hands together for Nehemiah and his brother that go in peace with your travels. And we just hold you up in love and peace and light and understanding.
Oh.
And one more word. Anybody that want to send healing love, at 10 o'clock we do it, but not always in time because things happen. Anybody, you can send a healing to Amishai, which means gift to my people, which he is in a practical way as an engineer that always helps people. And with him to send to anybody else you want. So you can have your prayer list. I'm doing it not all my life, but now I'm doing it. I have a big group of people that need some healing now, physical, emotional. And you can have your own, and we will be in it together, not just here, which was a great moment, everything here. And Gary, I forgot to thank you. And everybody is so inspiring. And in my group, I didn't talk, which was a great achievement for me. I just listened.
You just listen. That's wonderful. So thank you. Thank you so much, Nehemiah. And that's 10 o'clock Eastern time for people who want to just be in common space together to pray for those who are in need and benefit from that. So thank you.
And if you're not in time, it's okay.
Yeah.
In the spirit, because I'm not always in time because things happen. You know?
Right. So with that, Gary, do you have a second piece for us that you would like to thrill our hearts and souls with?
I do. You know I do. So I just, I don't know, if some of you might have been on the call many, many, many months ago where I had a video called A New Interview with God. I don't know if any of you know, but way back in the early Stone Age of the internet, way back in 2001 or two, one of the first internet sensations that went to literally hundreds of millions of people is this script called Interview with God. And it was set to kind of cheesy music and still images when everybody had kind of, those dial-up modems that you had to wait forever to get online. Remember those days? Well, I'm excited to unveil to you guys a completed version of the new Interview with God that I wrote new music for it, and I got a phenomenally talented videographer to create new images for it. Currently it's going to be called either Interviewing God or New Interview with God, and it's going to be released on the second season. Drum roll, please, because I'm so excited about this. The second season of Islands of Inner Peace on Gaia TV. Now, Gaia TV is focused on spiritual content, and I'm going to put in the link, the affiliate link that will enable you to support. Part of the money goes to me for the second season. This is so exciting, you guys. I've spent the last year, I have created 14 8 to 12 minute videos that are for the second season of Gaia of Islands of Inner Peace. So no one has ever seen this publicly finished before. And you guys are going to get the first preview. It doesn't even have the proper titles on it because we're doing that now. But so that's the personal investment of like, what an achievement. I'm so proud of myself at the moment here. But now let's get back to what this is really all about. Let's just come back in, promotional moments aside, and we'll just remember the fire again, right? So let's just take that moment to slow down. And I'm about to play a media fire from which all of us can derive wholeness from, right? So this is not a spoken word piece like mostly everything I do. This is looking at the written word, allowing the images of nature to allow you to fall even deeper in love with Gaia, with our beloved planet. And the music is meant to hold your consciousness in awe so that we can feel fully alive. So this is something that no one has ever seen before, not other than the filmmakers. And I'm going to share it with you guys. It's still a little bit of a work in progress, but its purpose is for us to awaken the presence of beauty and wisdom and Gaia, the love of nature, to awaken us to fully alive, to being fully alive. So that's my contribution. I'm not going to talk much because I talked a lot before. And here it is. Enjoy, you guys. It's about five or 6 minutes long.
Oh, beautiful, Gary.
I feel like a proud papa. You know, this is 14 of these films. This is the only one that has no spoken word, but I'm really excited because this was started in 2007 and it was never released because of legal licensing issues. And it's finally, enough time has passed with the people that owned it said, you know what, it's more important for this to bless the world than to figure out how we can make money from it. So, but please support me. I'll give you the link and the Gaia TV link that you can sign up to see all 14, and the existing Islands of Inner Peace are from the first season are there right now, featuring Deepak Chopra and a lot of other, and Bob Proctor and a lot of other cool people that I wrote music for the first season. But I'm excited to share that with you. Isn't that I get choked up every time when it says there one more question, know that I'm here for you. Oh, and I'm here with you always. It just, I don't know. There's something about dropping in and to drop in together with this alignment of the community that we have, that I just feel particularly touched and grateful. And I feel currently very alive right now because of sharing this with you all. So I love you and miss you. Thank you for letting me share that work with you all. And I'll give you the link. Please consider signing up for Gaia. And I think you can have a trial run or something, but I'd love you to support and spread the word if you could. Love you guys.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the melody line that flows like the waves. You know, it comes and it goes. You did a beautiful job of setting that vision to music as only you can do. I'm so in awe of your talent, and that we get to have the world premiere right here with those who love you and have been so inspired by you. So sincere
Thank you, Carol.
appreciation.
And I don't know if you noticed, but the reason why I had this version, David Fortney is the cinematographer who did the whole first season of 10 Wisdom Films that's on Islands of Inner Peace at Gaia. He's just this master cinematographer. Isn't that the way he captures images? He's just a master, and I feel so grateful and fortunate to work with him. So anyway, looking forward to seeing this. The launch of the second season will be November 21st, but you got a preview of it today.
Awesome.
And I'll put,
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
the Ingmans had and we're ready for some Marma too when you are. Where's Joseph and Susan? Where did they go? There they are.
Well, hi. Yeah, I just want to say thank you, as everyone does, to Gary for bringing us into this space and connecting it to the question of what makes me feel most alive. Was this an experience like this? And in a short way, I would say, when I feel connected to what is bigger than me, I am most alive, which is kind of contrary to the ego's thinking that when I'm most in myself, I'm most alive. It's actually the opposite, that I am more alive when I am a part of something much bigger than me, and staring at the fire takes me into those places, and being in a community and serving takes me into those places. And Gary, thank you for taking us into a place where we are connected and we are bigger than ourselves.
Beautiful. How about for you, Susan? How was it for you?
How was it for me? Well, Gary's work always opens my heart, and that kind of music and those images connect me to the fact that I am part of something just profoundly extraordinary, and that we're all in this profoundly extraordinary experience called being human. And what a gift, what a gift. And Gary, you're a gift. You just, the gift that keeps on giving.
And giving
So
and giving.
thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. And these, these experiences that we create together are so healing and just change us. I know we're changing the world, and I just feel so blessed to be a part of all of it.
Yeah.
Susan, thank you so much. I just wanted to say also one thing. I was given a diagnosis to get surgery at my knee and my shoulder, and I had the great good fortune of being able to consult with Joseph, who's a retired, semi-retired orthopedic surgeon, and to have the opportunity to be able to have that kind of priceless advice with someone who has the lens of the power of ancient secrets behind it. So he's not exclusively only the drinker of the Kool-Aid of the medical reductionist model.
I'm a recovering orthopedic surgeon.
But I mean, this is the strength of this community. We all want to be the best version of ourselves. For me to be able to reach out to Joseph and have him look at my DVD MRI, I mean, my God, and not that I'm inviting everybody to do that to Joseph by no means, because Joseph and I knew each other a little before, but it's just the power of this beauty of aligning and looking at the world through a similar, we're all looking through the lens in a similar way, and that's priceless. So thanks, Susan, thanks, Joseph, and thank you, everybody.
So Susan and Joseph, I want to let's take a pause and do some marmas, and then I'll have Luke, and then I saw that Tara and Roma Rishi were here a little bit ago. I don't know if they're back or not, but so can we unite ourselves in the ancient secret of marma practice, which is releasing some pressure points that connect to our higher power? Or Luke, did you have something you just want to say first, or can you wait till after?
No, I can totally wait. It's okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So take it away, Susan and Joseph.
Yeah, go
ahead. One of the things, I guess this feels like it fits in the theme of the moment and today. Something I kind of discovered the other day, sitting in meditation on a log, staring at the beach. And it's a combination, if you will, of a marma and for me, a mantra and a mudra, whatever. But I've done this before. It's the one that we were shown about vata. And for me, I find when my vata is running wild, I'm not in my heart. And this was shown to us as actually a heart marma to bring the vata down. And I have found it that it does settle me. It brings me actually more in my heart and more at peace and more grounded. And it's on both hands, you take your index and long fingers and flex them on both sides, bring the thumbs over the top of them, and then bring your ring and little finger to the tip of your thumb. And the marma, as Dr. Giovanni showed us, was to press that point, press your thumb 6 times. So we know the magic number of 6, and you do 6 repetitions 6 times. So the way that I did this the other day, which I just wanted to share, was I did it with my breath, and a good abdominal breath, a yogic breath. And I did it on a count of 6 on an inhale, and then a count of 6 on the exhale. And I did 3 cycles of that, which made 6 sets of the marma point. So if you will join me, we will inhale on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Okay, I'm being guided to just talk about, or to have us all do the self-love marma. So it's on your earlobes, and what you're going to do is press 6 times, and this is for self-love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because we know the magic of the 6 now, let's do it 5 more times, 6 sets or 6 presses, 5 more times. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding gratitude for deeper and deeper self-love. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Loving ourselves, knowing we are divinity. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Loving all of us, our perfections and imperfections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Profound gratitude to be here on this planet, living this life, being together and being one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was beautiful, guys. I'm so grateful for that. Luke, you had something you wanted to share?
You know, I am so right now with with Gary did and what Susan and Joseph did and the whole call. I am so filled with thanks and love and appreciation. And that's what makes me feel so much alive. And I want to give personal thanks to 2 people right now. Joseph, you know, that value, Dr. G. Giovanni called the value mudra. It's a marma. Since he showed us that, that has become my favorite marma. I do it so many times a day. I'm doing it lying in bed at night. I love it. And that little variation you just did that you inspired to do because of your meditation, Joseph, I really loved it. It felt so good taking those deep breaths and holding and doing that Vayu Marma during that. So I think I'm going to incorporate that into what I do. So I want to thank you for that, Joseph. And I want to thank Gary, dear Gary. Oh my goodness, I feel so blessed to know Gary through this community. One day I really want to meet you in person, Gary. What you bring to this community and that 5-minute piece that you showed with the music and those beautiful images, it was so moving and so touched. Stuff like that makes me feel so alive. It was like an open eye meditation watching what you did there, Gary. So
thank you, Luke. That's so beautiful. Thank you.
Gary, you are amazing. We've never met in person, but I just love you. I really do. And we will meet someday. I know we will. Yeah.
I feel the connection, Luke. We're already one. Can't wait.
Yeah. When I also, Carol, what makes me feel, I know the feeling of feeling so alive, and that is when I sit in my daily meditation. Part of it is an open eye gazing with my spiritual teacher from many years ago. Plus I have a tanka of Gautama Buddha, and I have this image of this golden being with arms out like this. So part of my meditation is open eye and open gazing. And then I close my eyes, and the blissful feeling I feel during my meditations and so connected to eternity, it's like a little nirvana and sometimes a big nirvana when I sit there. And I'm endeavoring to bring that feeling into every moment of my day. Obviously it's not happening every moment, but I have these moments where it does suddenly come about, that feeling that I feel in meditation. That's what makes me feel so alive, where I'm so connected to everything and everyone and feeling like I'm just connected to eternity. So I wanted to express my thanks. I'm so filled with love and thanks and appreciation. And I just wanted to express that. So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Gomarishi and Tara, are you there? I see you're on. If you can unmute and like to tell us how you're doing.
Do you have the ability to unmute us? We're doing this on our phone, and
the sunlight is very bright.
we're outdoors and the sunlight's
We
very
can
bright.
hear you, but it is breaking up a little.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we are at our new campsite on the banks of the Rogue River in Oregon. And we don't have Wi-Fi here, so we can only get on via the phone. And yes, what more can I say than every single call inspires us so deeply. It's really the highlight of our week is to be part of this global healing call. And what's really been special to us lately, of course, many of you know we were living in a tent on Mount Shasta. And now that we have a travel trailer, we've moved to the Rogue River in Oregon. And the nature here is so beautiful, so incredibly beautiful. Tara and I both have, throughout our entire life, we've had such a deep love for nature. And now a place where the nature is spectacular. And it's been really healing and energizing to us to connect with nature. Tara, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, we really do connect with what Gary was
Oh, I think we may have lost them. Okay, Linda Rousseau, I believe you have something you'd like to share with us today. Miss Linda.
Good morning, Carol. Good morning, everyone, or whatever time you may be in.
May I just say you look absolutely beautiful today. So nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Carol. You know, I just want to, first of all, acknowledge this beautiful community and the leadership that has stepped up and has just really made all of this possible for us to come together, experience this love, the healing that takes place, and share in every way. And, you know, it's truly an honor to be a part of it. Dr. Naram and Ancient Secrets and Dr. Clint putting this together for us. So when we did the miracle experiment experience, which was truly amazing, and when we hit day 28, I had a major Adithi Devobawa. And that was my sister and best friend transition. Totally unexpected, no sickness, illness prior to it. And it was her transitioning peacefully in her sleep. So something that really took me back, and needless to say, was quite painful. But at the same time, looking for the divine in this particular situation And fortunately, I was able to see quite a bit. I stopped counting at 30, but just from the onset, there were 30 different things that were a benefit as a result of her transitioning. And even to receive a message from her the next day, which is in alignment with the theme for today. And her message was to start living, to start living to be happy and stop taking life so seriously. And, you know, it's something for all of us to just really be able to take to heart and acknowledge the things that really bring us alive, and to see that taking place in so many different lives in that moment, and to know that it was for me to really be in that place of love for myself and for everyone else. Because another message that I got, I didn't know in the moment. It was like, I want to do something, but what am I to do? Because I did need to travel. And there was a need for me to go, but go without a plan. And in doing so, I was able to be present and just be open to be there for whatever the needs were for everyone. And it was truly a healing, magical situation for everyone. It was a definite celebration of life, and being able to implement these ancient secret principles in everyday situations, no matter what they are, it does help others, and it definitely helped myself to come out on top with this. It's not to say that there's not pain still related to it, because I mean, there's a deep missing of her in the physical when I'm in my human state. But, you know, even like this time of year, she was here just last year visiting me as a surprise for my birthday. But still being able to now look at it with all of the beautiful memories that we had and shared, and lives that were touched and impacted and still are being. So, you know, it's just such a encouragement to know that we have something that keeps us going. It's not where it's an end all and it's a place for us to stay in, say, a negative or suffering state, but that we can truly live and thrive and enjoy life and be able to emanate that to everyone else in such an amazing, loving way. To be able to understand what it's like to be in that position, but also know that even with that going on, how can I still be a blessing to other people? It's a beautiful journey we get to be on, be a part of. And even without one thing in particular, without making contact with my former husband, he reached out, wanted to express his sincerest apologies for his behavior during our marriage. I never asked for it. I wasn't expecting it, but this was just another one of those blessings that came out of the situation because of just being who I was created to be. And that's why I started off saying it's so important for me to be in alignment with God so that I can be who I really am, and everything else falls into place. So it's not about us knowing the how, the when, the why. It's just to be present and be able to be and then receive. And at that same time, we're giving in many cases without even realizing it. So I just wanted to be able to share that part of my journey with everyone and just be an encouragement to let you know that no matter what it is that we go through, we can not only come out on top, but help so many other people because of our experience.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Linda. Can we send you some love? Happy belated birthday and our heartfelt gratitude for you, Linda. We love you. We're with you. And your words were beautiful. I'm so grateful that you shared that with us. And I think it was Joseph who said, if the angel of death comes calling, make sure they find you living. And I think that's something that, you're living to the fullest. And I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for that beautiful share.
Thank you, Karen.
So happy to have you here and be able to bring that joy to us. I believe Ann Wilkinson is in the house today. Miss Ann, are you here?
I am.
How are you, Miss Ann?
I've only missed a couple. It's usually a conflict of interest, like something else going on that I can't get out of is the only way I'll miss. I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful that Dr. Steve Wexler was my Facebook friend, that I would share everything that he posted, because it was, really in line with the things that he was always doing some really neat medical things. So I shared the TED Talk of Dr. Clint, more like, I want to get back to this later. Let me save it here so I don't lose it. And then when I listened to it, I was like, oh my gosh, there's somebody else who landed their feet in Wilmington, Delaware that knows Dr. Naram. Like, I remember just thinking that was such a big deal, because the world was so big to me, that like, how could somebody else who knew Dr. Naram be in my little hometown, And so I'm so grateful for that moment that I actually, reached out to him, because that's how I got on his list to hear about the book. And then Susie, I just wanted to say I'm so grateful for you, because I saw the pain that you were in over a long period of time. And so to hear this, it just is fantastic. And I'm so grateful for you for that. I myself, have experienced healing in a different way. Like, I got lucky, I've got pretty good genes, but Susie saw me hurt my knee, and how it also hurt like my hip and my back. And that's how I entered Ancient Secrets. I was overweight because I couldn't work out. I was limping, dragging a leg, inflamed, and with high vata pitta. So, you can imagine what my personality was like. And what I've realized through this experience is that how many different things change our perception of the world. So one time, Saima, who introduced me to Dr. Naram and Dr. Steve, she had us get off of our chairs in our lecture and like sit down on the ground and look at the chair from underneath. And, like, we could have stood on our head if we wanted to, but she just wanted us to look at the chair from a different perspective. And Ancient Secrets has really given me that opportunity. It, first of all, by decreasing the pitta and the vata, it helps you just be able to experience life and not be like missing everything because you're running so fast through it. But, and also not insulting everybody along the way, it kind of like tempered all those rough edges. It seems like when you keep your diet, it's fairly strict and keep your doshas in balance. That's fantastic. And then also the self-care totally changed my life. Like, I remember when we had to do the self-care thing, I'm like, scrape my tongue. There's no way. Like, I gagged Tuesday. I'm not doing that. Like, I would just pick out the things that I wanted to do. But the things that I did pick out, like, I still do them. And so I've noticed that when someone asks me for something, I don't have this like underlying resentment or like thinking in my mind, well, who's going to do that for me? And nobody does that for me, like that victim thing, Susie. Maybe we're all unplugging at the same time, we're evolving together, but unplugging from that victim thing. And when you take care of yourself, really, you can't be looking at anybody else to do it. When you know this body better than anything, and Ayurvedics is really teaching me that, like how every little thing, putting oil in my nose makes such a big difference, and now when I came home from Panchakarma, I will have to say you do get very spoiled there. They kind of do everything for you. So when you come home, like it's that I haven't really done the healthy me detox fully yet, because I want to do it in India where they do everything for you and make it so easy and tell you everything and you don't have to look it up and all. But I don't think I can go there every single year for 5 weeks, but who knows? You know, you never. I think I'm going to add that to my what do I want thing list. But I feel closer to God in a way that, and I'm glad that you brought that up, Linda, because now no longer is God for me. And you'll be able to tell I was brought up Catholic. That before, when I would do something wrong, it felt like there was someone above me, like kind of with a pitchfork. There was going to be some kind of a punishment, something, you know, for doing that thing wrong. And so I was always kind of answering to this, and even like looking up, you know, like, oh, you know, whatever. But now, like I look to you. I measure myself by what would you think of my behavior? So instead of God being like up there kind of ready, you know, with a little pitchfork just waiting for me to mess up, I'm saying, look at all the examples I have of God and how to behave and how to enjoy life and how to recover and how to repair and how to regenerate and how to evolve. Look at all these beautiful, and now God to me is all of you. And I'm aspiring towards you, and it's something I can touch and feel. Like I even have a visitor that I hear now, a doctor who I met through Legendary, also who's visiting me. So like I'm getting to touch you all, so you know, a few of you here and there, and it's just amazing. Like honestly, I have to be honest with you. The same kind of things are happening. I still get the same bad mail. My mom's still not talking to me over an argument over ghee, whether it has cholesterol or not. You know, there's just these things that happen in life, but what's happening is that I am not physiologically, and Dr. Steve is probably clapping because he told me this a really long time ago, you know, that if I could just stop being so concerned about everything and see, I told you it's clapping. And I was like, whatever, you know, I gave him a real hard time. My pit had got all flared up when he said it, whatever. But now I really understand, you know, what he meant. And how, like, if I mind my kind of my own business, take care of myself, and be an example to the world will change. That ripple effect, that resonance, and bring more wonderful people like you. So I just wanted to say, there's been a couple of times in my life that I really felt like, is there really anything more for me to live for? Like when my daughter was 3, if she got lost in New York City, she would have survived. She was that kind of kid, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'm not nursing her anymore. I'm not doing this. I've attained all the goals. I've attained all the degrees I wanted. I've traveled to the lands I want. Like I actually, and I remember telling it to a counselor and telling it to John Barnes, a famous therapist, and saying like, really don't, you know why I'm still here. And I remember them looking at me like I had 10 horns coming out of my head. Like they just were like, how could you even think something like that? But what I love is when, with now Ayurvedic, it's like, I can't wait to get to know the plants more intimately and see what they do. It's like it's giving me something to hunger for, something to lean into, something to desire, you know, and it's making me feel more alive, and that I do have a lot to live for and to be here on the planet, you know, more. So I am so grateful. I'm so happy, and I feel so blessed to know you and to hear your lead, you know, to listening and hear your lead and to follow. And it's made just a huge, really such a huge change in my relationships and the way I react to things. Really, my physiology has transformed. And that's what I'm so grateful for. And look, I even have brown hair now instead of gray hair.
Yeah.
The henna. But it did drop like 20 years off. I tell you, it makes a big difference.
Glowing, Anne, just glowing. Dr. Steve, rebuttal?
Oh no, I'm scared.
Rebuttal. No, I love Anne. Anne has taught me a lot. I've been with Anne in the wee hours of the morning doing body work on people, and she is an amazing healer and amazing with people and animals. And thank you for being on the planet.
Thank you.
So what makes you alive, Dr. Steve? What brings that live fully spirit to you?
So what I thought of is, you know, we're all here getting better and well. And the only way to keep that going is to give from your cup runneth over. They say the Dead Sea is dead because it has an inflow and no outflow. where the Red Sea is so alive because it has an inflow and an outflow. So we need to take this health, this awareness, this consciousness, this beingness, and we need to give it away. We need to serve others. We need not to be stingy with our time, energy, and money if we can help others. Everyone has something that they have an abundance of, that they can give to. Even if you have nervous energy, then give it away. Use that energy to serve someone else, and that will calm your own mind. I heard this term over probably almost 25 years ago called self-full. So we have being selfish, being selfless, but being self-full, to give from our cup runneth over and take from where there's abundance, from our source, not from others. Take from our source and give to others. And it always comes back to you many, many, many fold. I mean, like today, I'm here at the ski mountain and took care of someone who slid their body on the rocks for a few feet. And a little 11-year-old boy had cuts all over himself. And it was just such a joy to have that energy to do that, to give it away. I usually on Sundays, I take a veteran downhill, but he's working at the state fair. He's serving others at the state fair today. So everybody, when you give, then people give to others, and it's a never ending source of love. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Steve. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Anne, any closing words from you?
I love you so much.
Love
So
you.
much.
Such a
So
love
much.
fest here today. So I just put in the chat other opportunities that we have. We have a group call that is based for people in Africa. We have another that's for people based in Europe. And we have a third that's for people in Asia Pacific that I'm hosting again. And I'm backing down to twice a week so that I have a little more balance in my life for self-love as well as supporting that. So that's
Carol, I need to correct you. You said twice per week. It's twice per month.
twice per month. Yes, thank you, dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for that. Yeah, every other Friday is what we're doing, and I believe that's the same for the European call. And it might change on the African, but for now, you'll hear from that because that has its own group, and you'll hear those announcements. I just wanted you to know that that's out there, and we do marmas, and we do breathing work, and we talk about ancient secrets. So that's the theme for us all, and we've had some really good ones here today. We had marmas that we talked about. We had, lots of discussions about how people are using the ancient secrets to be more alive and for lifestyle, right? And then I had one more thing I was going to add to you, because sometimes when you've been sick and you're trying to get your energy back, one of the things that's really helpful is to have an energy drink. And I thought that there it is. I'm going to slip in Dr. Naram's energy drink. And if you just did one thing to change your lifestyle to make it healthier, I would say take a spoonful of ghee. It does some miracle things for your organs, your skin, your digestion. But if you want to give yourself more energy, I just put in the chat the premier energy drink that we have in our from Dr. Naram, and it's blanched almonds, dates, figs, cardamom pods, and fennel seeds. Now, if you're diabetic, you may want to omit figs and dates for the extra sugar in them, but it's a delicious way to start your day. And if you could just do one thing, it might give you the energy boost you need to make other changes in your life. So we're really big on home remedies and self-care, self-love, and we hope that you found inspiration today for living your life to the fullest extent possible. And I'm grateful, Cornelia. Thank you so much for the great back end tech support, for all your help today. Any closing remarks from you?
Yeah, I actually was thinking the whole morning while we were talking about being fully alive. As I just shared with you, I was in Germany seeing my family, and some of you know that it was the first time that I actually saw my second grandchild, who is already 2 years and 3 months old. Because of the COVID situation, I couldn't travel. And what really stood out for me spending time with them was how much he's now 2.25, and my daughter, my granddaughter, she is 4, was just 4. How much those children are alive, and how much they express themselves, and just being around them really showed me again what it means to be just living, and how they do that as children, as long as we don't stop them from being alive and kind of limit them in their expression. And I have to say, my daughter's really doing a great job in supporting that they can express themselves in all shapes and forms. And that for me also is something, if you want to know what living life fully is, watch little children. They are so great at doing that, and how much joy they have in tiny things. Like, I can tell you one thing, that my grandson, he loves gardening. So he would go out every night and pick the little strawberries that are actually wild strawberries, but they have them in their garden. So every night he would go and pick them and eat them. And there's just such an joy in him to be out in nature, and just watching him really connected me in a different way again to what life is really all about. So if you don't remember what that means, just watch little children, go to the park, watch them on a swing, watch them really play. It's fascinating. I really was fascinated just watching my grandchildren.
Oh, that's awesome. We have 1 more minute left. Does anybody have any last parting comments they'd like to make? Esther Francis, is there something burning on that you'd like to share?
Well, you're really psychic. I wasn't going to raise my hand, but I was thinking I should just say that Miriam and I are taking more time to create our project, and nothing's happening today because we're honoring space and spaciousness, and realizing that in being in the flow, it's way more beneficial for us all. Thank you for this amazing call, as always. Always a joy, always an inspiration, always a deepening and expansion of love and connection and community. So thanks, and bless.
Oh, thank you so much, Esther. And let's see. So in closing, I am loved. If you raise your arms high and really feel that you are loved, I am loved. And then fold your arms around and say, I am love. I am loved. And then I am at peace. And then if you'll unmute yourself, we'll close with our usual, I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I
love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Linda, love you, Esther Francis, love you, Cornelia, love you, Joseph, love you, Anne, love you, Susan.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you, Helene, Mary, love you, Afsana, love you, Barbara.
Love you, love you, love you.
Andrea.
Hey, Jerem, love you, Gary. Love you, Beverly.
Ooh, see you on the next adventure.
Love you,
Love
Harvey.
you.
Love each one of you.
Love you, Katie.
That's so beautiful.
So much.
Share.
Oh, I love you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.